What's up, guys? Today we're going to be making our Week 11 NFL picks. Before we get started, make sure you guys like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. We're trying to continue to grow the channel, but we're going to get straight into it. It's a big week around the NFL. Some notable games, division games, and then there's that Buffalo game, obviously, with the snow. Pretty excited for that one. But we're just going to start with the Thursday night game. The Titans and the Packers. Last time these two faced off was a few years ago. Around the same time in the winter, the Packers had won that game. It was like 30-9. They ran all over Tennessee, but this is a different team. Packers without Devontae Adams. The Packers have really struggled this year. Last week they started to look better, but still not the same Packers we're accustomed to. Both of these teams are averaging about the same amount of points, around 18 points allowed. Though the Titans have a much better defense with allowing three total points less per game. Total yards, they're allowing more. So really it's kind of where they bend but don't break. So they have a good front there, very good rushing defense. So especially that's what the Packers like to do. They average over 130 yards a game rushing, so they like to run the ball. Same thing with Tennessee. So it's gonna be more of a run heavy game. It's not supposed to snow. It's being played in Lambeau Field. Excuse me. So it's definitely gonna be cold. So, but still, both teams are going to run the ball. I like this Titans team. This game, Derrick Henry, he's just he can't. There's times where he's just unstoppable. And then then they get the running game going, do a little play action. So I'm gonna go with the Titans this game. I still haven't seen enough from the Packers. I think that his squad, Mike Vrabel's squad from the Titans, he's just gonna have that group ready to play. Then we have the Bears and the Falcons. The first Sunday game we're going to go over. Justin Fields has been playing phenomenal. Might even put his name into the MVP conversation if he keeps playing like this. But it hasn't really come out in wins for them. Same thing with the Falcons. Their record isn't really showing on the good side to say. I mean, they started off pretty good, 4-4, and then they almost beat the Chargers and then lost the Panthers. Don't know what happened there. But this is a squad that I think was having a pretty good season before that Chargers, before the Panthers game, really. There's some question there at quarterback whether Ritter was going to start or Mariota. Mariota is starting this week. This is a game where it's also gonna be another running game. The Bears actually average over 200 rushing yards a game, and the Falcons over 160. I like the Falcons this game though. The Bears haven't found a way to close out games, and really it's just been Justin Fields. I have the Falcons winning that game. Then we have the Buffalo Bills and Cleveland Browns, a game that I'm more excited to see that weather. I know it's not the greatest of matchups, but they're saying 3 to 6 feet of snow. That's pretty crazy. Now this game I'm basing my pick upon the weather and everything. Like, Buffalo is the obvious pick. Any other game, but these snow games, they've struggled. Like at least last year against the Patriots, they ended up losing in that snow game, and just really they've struggled when they've had to rely on running the ball. And I think that's a problem because like they were last game against the Vikings, they were actually down at the goal line, and they were, I think it was like 3rd and 2 or something. No, 2nd and 2, and they passed all of the downs. I think it was like 5 plays where they were in the red zone. They passed 4 times and only ran it once. So I think that's gonna be a problem. The Browns have Nick Chubb, obviously one of the better backs in the league. But then on defense they have which they got manhandled up front last week against the Dolphins, but they still have Myles Garrett and Jadeveon Clowney. This is a game I'm interested to see. See how really both teams bounce back. But I'm taking the upset here, actually. I'm going to go with the Browns. I think that the Browns have a better running game and are going to be able to control the clock. And really with that weather, it's really who has the better run game, and that's the Browns. Then the Eagles and the Colts. Eagles came off a stunning loss against the Commanders. And then the Colts came off of a surprising win with Jeff Saturday at head coach against the Raiders. Eagles are heavily favored here with 7 points. Eagles were looking like one of the better teams in the league. This game is another one that it might seem obvious, like, yeah, let's take the Eagles, but I like what Jeff Saturday is doing. I like his mindset. I know he's not a, really, he hasn't been a coach or anything, but I like his mindset and what he brings to that team. And then on the other side of the Eagles, Jalen Hurts having a great year. And then A.J. Brown also having a great year as well, helping him out there. But he was limited in Wednesday's practice. That's something to be concerned about. I think it was his ankle. Last game he only had one reception for 7 yards, so he didn't really play a factor. This is another game. Like I said, I think the Colts can win this game. It's just like it's gonna be difficult because of this high powered offense from the Eagles. The Eagles are averaging over 27 points a game, while the Colts are averaging 15. Well, I think the Colts could pull off an upset. I'm gonna have to go with the Eagles. I think that they're gonna bounce back. I think they have more talent. The Colts don't really have anything outside in that passing game, and then the Eagles have 2 lockdown corners, so I have the Eagles there. Then a divisional game, the Jets and the Patriots. Patriots had the upper hand, the first one, forcing Zach Wilson to 3 interceptions. Patriots are playing, at home. Important game for the AFC East and both of these teams. Tie race there. I think that this game can also go either way, but this is another game where both offenses aren't really that high powered. It's really focusing on the defense. Jets have a great defense. Patriots have really always relied on their defense. But the Patriots, they've been a kind of weird team. They won two games against the Colts and the Jets. Those were 2 big ones. But then they lost to the Bears. But then they beat Cleveland. And then, they just started off the season weird. But I've said this before, not necessarily on here, but I can, it's hard for me to go against a Bill Belichick-led team during this part of the season. They have a great a home field advantage there, even though the Jets do play in the same type of weather, type of environment. But it's different in Foxborough now in the season. So I'm gonna go with the Patriots. I think that that they're gonna continue to pressure Mac Jones. Not Mac Jones, Zach Wilson, like they did last game, forcing him to 3 interceptions. I think they'll do that. Bill Belichick has always done good at really pressuring young quarterbacks to making bad decisions. So I have the Patriots there. Then the Rams and the Saints, 2 teams that have really underachieved this year. The Saints have been dealing with some injury issues, so really can't fully blame that on them. But the Rams, like after coming off a Super Bowl, everyone had high aspirations for them, and really they just kind of like fell off a cliff really. Matthew Stafford didn't play last week. He's back. Cooper Kupp is out. I think that this is going to be a more of a defensive game, low scoring game, under 30 points. I think the Rams are going to win this one though. They have some good pieces on defense. I don't think they'll let the Saints get anything going. So I have the Rams winning that one. Then the Lions and Giants. Lions have a pretty good offense. Giants have really surprised everyone this year. People are still sleeping on them. Saquon with over 900 yards and 6 touchdowns. But I think this is a game where it's going to be difficult because like both teams their strengths are opposite from each other. The Giants, their strength is really their defense, but the Lions' strength is their offense. But then the Lions' defense is allowing over 29 points a game. And I think that with Saquon in the backfield, I think that's going to be difficult for them to stop. While the Lions' offense is very high-powered, can put up a lot of points, I think the Giants are going to win this one. They're at home. They kind of have to win those games that they're supposed to this late in the season. So I'm going to take the Giants there. Then the Panthers and the Ravens. This is going to be a quick one. I have the Ravens. Panthers are in a rebuilding mode. I know they won last week, but still, I think they're rebuilding. Have the Ravens winning there. Then the Commanders and the Texans. Commanders came off an impressive win. The Texans not really anything impressive about their season this year. Only bright spot is Dameon Pierce, the rookie out of Florida, having a pretty good year. Over 770 yards on the season, 3 touchdowns. But the Commanders, what a win against the Eagles, a surprising win. I have the Commanders winning there. Really like Tyler Heineke. Ever since that game against the Buccaneers in the playoffs, I've been a fan of him. I think he's gonna lead them to another win and move them to 6-5. Then we have the game of the teams that have really underperformed this year, like worse than the Rams and Saints. The Raiders and the Broncos. 2 key additions for both teams. The Raiders added Davante Adams and the Broncos added Russell Wilson. Raiders are 0-5 in the division. They haven't won a game there. They're 2-7. Broncos are 3-6. This is at home for the Broncos. This is a game where I actually originally had the Raiders winning. I've kept on picking the Raiders, thinking that Davante Adams, is gonna make that difference. He has made the difference, but I've realized that it's not just him. It's they're giving up leads. They're really not keeping leads, not playing fundamentally sound football. I think that the Broncos are going to win this one. They're at home. That plays into a little bit of the factor. And a team that really might try to get back into that playoff race. I think this is a key game for them. If they win this one, they move to 4-6, and then they play the Panthers 5-6. But then they have a tough schedule ending the season. The Ravens, the Chiefs, the Cardinals, the Rams, the Chiefs, and the Chargers. So definitely a key game for them. I think they'll win this one though. Then we have the Cowboys and the Vikings. Vikings, very surprising team this year. 8-1. One of the teams I was high on coming into the season. Kirk Cousins has been playing at a pretty high level. Not an MVP season or anything, but he's kept them in games, which ultimately led them to winning games. Last week he didn't play that great though. I think he had like 2 interceptions. But Justin Jefferson, how about him? One of the top wide receiver in the league. He just, when he gets going, he cannot be stopped. This is a game that I'm interested to see. I think this is going to be one of the top games of the week. But the Cowboys, like, they always find a way to bounce back. In a way when like nobody expects them to win or anything, they end up winning. But when people have high expectations, they end up losing. This is a game where I think the Cowboys are gonna win. I think that the defense with Micah Parsons, Trayvon Diggs, Lawrence, they're just gonna get it going, get back on track. And yeah, the Vikings they played from behind. They won that game last week against the Bills, but they've played from behind most of the season, even against the weaker teams that they faced. I think the Cowboys are going to win this game. Then we have the Bengals and Steelers, a game that was supposed to be played on Sunday night, but it got moved because of the Steelers not playing that great. I have the Bengals winning this one. I think they're gonna score a bunch of points. Jamar Chase was supposed to come back this week. He's no longer supposed to. He's aiming for next week to play. So I have the Bengals winning that one. And then Sunday Night Football, one of the top 2 quarterbacks in the league. Young quarterbacks we should be seeing for years to come. Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert. Chiefs are having a great season. Chargers have dealt with some injuries, but are expected to get Mike Williams and Keenan Allen back, so that's huge for them. Last game we saw was when in week 2 when Herbert hurt his ribs, that rib cartilage injury. I think they have to win this game, the Chargers. Especially if they want to keep up with the Chiefs for the division. They play at home. Not much of a home field advantage, but still, I think that they're gonna win this one. It's gonna be high scoring, in the 30s, but gonna be a great Sunday night matchup. Then we have the Niners and the Cardinals. Niners beat the Chargers last week, but they didn't look that great. We're trailing most of the game. Ended up winning, but they faced a Cardinals team that has really struggled. Another team that really has underperformed this season. I have the 49ers winning this one. I think that they have way too much star power all throughout that team. So I have the 49ers winning this one. That's it for the game picks, week 11 game picks. Let me know down in the comment section if you guys have any different picks, different opinions, games you're excited to see. Also videos you're excited to see. Check out my other channel, Dolphins Nation. We talk about just Dolphins. That's my main team. But make sure you guys subscribe to this channel first. I'm trying to grow, trying to gain subscribers.